Hi Taurus, welcome to your July reading. So first, really quick, I just want to say so sorry about June. I had a couple personal issues I had to take care of, and now we can move forward into July with really positive new energy. So what I'm going to do for July is I'm going to pull from the Oracle deck, and then I'm also going to, of course, pull from the Rider deck. So let's just get started. I know you guys have been going through a lot of ups and downs in relationships, and more recently it's been a bit more down than it has been up, and you felt that pretty strong last month. A lot of arguments, a lot of miscommunication and not understanding each other. Okay, here we go. So the first oracle cards out, we have the Frog, which is cleaning house and releasing emotional baggage. And then we have the Wasp, retaliation, anger, and jealousy. So the Wasp has been coming out for a few different readings, at least 3 or 4 readings this month. So there is a lot of anger going around, and I feel like this is either with an air sign, it could be a fire sign, but there's a lot of resentment going on, and someone must have said something to you that really just dug deep to the core, and they either just didn't understand it and didn't apologize, or they just they did understand it and they kind of brushed it aside. So they're not really listening to you and hearing you with your feelings. And this is a good month moving forward to release that tension and that stress. Okay, here we go. Here's King of Wands. There's that fire sign that we could be talking about. And also that could represent your energy as becoming a more well-rounded individual when it comes to people communicating with you and talking to you, and you can learn to communicate better. The King of Wands is an excellent communicator, and he's also fireproof when it comes to things that people say to him, or things when people disagree with him. He can kind of, bounce it off of him. He doesn't take things to heart like the King of Cups would. And the Salamander here is showing that he is fireproof. So, representing that energy of either that fire sign that you were dealing with, or this is your energy coming in. And it's interesting the Frog is also coming out because you guys are feeling a lot of feelings last month and this month, and it's a lot to just release that. It's easier said than done, but we do have to work on releasing that, at least that anger and retaliation and resentment. And a good time to do that is during the full moon on July 27th. It is a full moon in Aquarius, total lunar eclipse, and that is an excellent time to release what no longer serves you. Okay, here we go. Now your reading is fully out. Okay, so Judgment and the Sun, and then we have 2 of Pentacles, the World, Knight of Cups, 9 of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, 5 of Wands, 10 of Swords, the Fool, and 7 of Cups. Okay, so here's a pretty good idea of what's going on, and we can kind of move with the energy flow here. So explaining the fact that you have held in some emotional things that have been going on, either if you're holding it in for 2 minutes, 2 days, or 2 months, you're building up this kind of resentment, and that really has nothing to do with you. It has to do with the other person that you're surrounding yourself with, because if they are not understanding and respecting you, and they're not understanding that you take things to heart and you really do value what they have to say, so it hurts you even more and cuts you even deeper when you are when people say things to you that bother you, and they say mean things to you, or they just say something that kind of is offensive to you. And bouncing off of that, we have cycles. So 2 of Pentacles, which can also deal with the repetitive cycle, yes, and also balancing different things, but it's the cycle that keeps happening, and we're getting angry and we're not releasing it, and then we're getting angry and not releasing it. So it's a building up process, and it keeps going in this infinity loop. And the way to break that is coming to Knight of Cups and 9 of Pentacles working together to introduce you to a new emotional way of thinking and a new way to release your emotions. So here is this being presented to you in a new way that you have not tried before. And that could be doing something really good for yourself, like seeking out a counselor or therapist. It could even be just going to the spa, getting a massage, getting your nails done, having a sense of relaxation and self-care. That could also be a new way to release these things. Meditation is a good one. Going out into nature, doing something that you earth signs are meant to do. So it could be in a first stage of just walking your dog, or it could be going on a hike, or just going and standing out somewhere that has some trees, or that has, go to a beach, something that's really outdoors that can make you feel a little bit better and let go and release these emotions holding you down and holding you back. Because it looks like this situation that keeps happening, this repetitive cycle, which it's apparent that it is, a love situation, and someone that you are in love with, or you think you're in love with, and you think they're in love with you. It kind of keeps just repeating itself, and nothing is really getting to the next stage. And that's why we have 10 of Swords here, because it's showing me the conflict here with 5 of Wands and 10 of Swords. Here's this conflict that is just completely dead and buried and done and exhausted. The communication, it's exhausting. You're just not understanding each other. You guys are frustrated with each other, and you've beaten it to death. I mean, you honestly, whatever the situation is, it could be multiple situations here, or multiple conversations and multiple things that have made you mad or upset or sad. It's been beaten to death at this point. The communication is not getting anywhere. And here is an interesting thing with the Judgment and the Sun, which were the first 2 that popped up that I saw. This is showing me the way that it's going to go. So the outcome of this situation, the second chance, the letting go. Judgment is about letting go and second chances. So the second chance that you give this person, or that they give you, or whatever the case may be, you guys give each other a second or third or fourth or fifth or 17th chance. Once that happens and you guys fully let go of the past, and you let go of that anger and resentment, and they finally understand where you're coming from, and you understand where they're coming from, we can have joy and bliss and happiness. And this relationship can be healthy and can succeed only if we really cleanse that emotional baggage and we get rid of that resentment. And that's a good sign that the Judgment card and the Sun is coming out for you guys, because the outcome looks healthy. We just can't keep beating this situation to death. And of course we have the World, which is about completion and a really beautiful way to look at how something is going to turn out. So we have completion of abundance, and also whatever your hopes and dreams are bundled up into one, and you're hoping that those are going to come true, your prayers or your wishes, coming into full completion, and it's going to be the way that it's meant to be. So the universe is working in your favor. And then Seven of Cups and the Fool, so it's showing me that we have a hard decision that we had to make, which was either last month or this month. You're going to have to make a really hard decision and face your fears. And then jumping into that, which is the Fool, which is you're just going to do it anyway. You're just going to do whatever you're debating over here. You're debating all these things up in your mind. Well, you know you're just going to do it anyway. You're going to jump into it. Whatever that situation may be. That could be back into the relationship that you were having issues with, or it could be jumping into a new project that's going to distract you from this. Whatever decision that you are trying to make at this point, there's really no point in stressing over it, because you're just going to jump and do it anyway. You're going to do whatever you think that, whatever you're thinking in the back of your mind, should I do that? You're probably going to do it. And Taurus, there's an interesting dynamic when we're dealing with either an air sign or a fire sign with you guys. And of course, it could also be an earth sign, could be a water sign, but it's a general reading. But if we're dealing with the fire sign or the air sign, there is a foundation that you guys have built in a way. The foundation doesn't necessarily mean that it was a healthy one, but you guys have a real strong connection, and you have a foundation that is hard to break. That's why you're kind of going over and over, you know, with this in your head, and you're just kind of like, I don't know where else to go with this. I obviously love this person, or I think that I love this person, so I need a second chance, or they need a second chance, one of the two. And it's up to you to release your resentment and release that anger and cleanse yourself of that, which you can do with self-care, you can do with talking to a therapist, whatever, however you want to do it. Release it for yourself so you can then start this relationship start it again in a new and healthy way where you're both on the, and that could be couples counseling, that could be just individual counseling that you guys can get. And I'm really seeing that it can work out if, only if, that person is obviously not abusive to you and you're not abusive to that person. So don't think I'm talking about abusive situations here or narcissistic sociopaths. I'm not talking about those types of people that we're dealing with. I'm talking about someone that you are just miscommunicating with, and it was a healthy relationship other than that, or they said something to you that hurt you or confused you, and you want a explanation of that. So they need to give that to you. I'm not talking about abusive people or sociopaths or exes that have cheated on you. It's not what I'm talking about. Okay, just want to say that because in the comments there's a lot of confusion sometimes about different relationships when we're dealing with hardships. So this hardship doesn't really have to do with an abusive situation. Not at all. Emotionally, physically, mentally, whatever. Not talking about that. So it will and can be okay, and it can be a healthy relationship if you guys do the work. And you have to do a lot of that work on yourself. Forgiving, releasing, being more peaceful, meditating. And they have to do work too. I'm not saying they're in the clear here. But as long as you two can communicate, there is a second chance that's going on here. But if you don't learn to communicate, this situation is completely done and the cycle will be completed. So you guys can choose what path you want to take. Taurus, okay. I love you guys, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do free mid-month readings for July because I felt bad about last month. So look for that around the 13th. And of course, if you want a private reading, my link is down below, JolannaMeredith.com. And also follow me on Instagram, and today's the last day where you can enter to win a free reading with me. So go to my Instagram page and you'll see the post that says win a free reading with Jolanna, and you can read the rules down below. It's really easy to enter, and I will see you guys soon. All right, bye Taurus.